Hello and welcome to everybody. My guest today is UFC heavyweight fighter Juan Kraken Adams. So Juan, can you please take a bit an introduction, tell a bit on your achievements and so on?
Yeah, sure. Juan Adams here. I train out of Jackson Link Academy in Albuquerque, New Mexico. From Houston, Texas. This will be my first fight with this camp. So, looking forward to show you.
It would be awesome. I can't wait for your match against Tafa. So, how would you say, what is your fighting style? I mean, exactly your fighting style. What would you say?
Before I think I was definitely more striking heavy. Um, and I would try and wrestle when I could. Whereas now, you'll see now is I've changed my style completely for this fight.
I can't wait to see it. Why did people call you Kraken?
It's actually a funny story. So, in mythology, the Kraken is this very large being. It's very hard to defeat. The ultimate battle weapon of the gods. But also because I drink Kraken rum a lot. It's my favorite rum. So that's how I got the name.
Interesting story. So you said you changed your fighting style, alright? I won't ask you about that, I want to see the surprise, but can you please share with us which is your favorite strike?
My favorite drink or my favorite
No,
strike?
no, your favorite punch.
Oh, my favorite. Man, I'm pretty old school. I like the jab, man. It's my favorite punch. I throw it for everything. I've got like 9 different variations of a jab that I like to do. So it's definitely my favorite punch and most versatile punch for sure.
Oh, awesome, man. Excellent. Why did you transition from the football to MMA? I mean, what led you to transition?
Well, in high school, I started wrestling, and I was always a better football player than I go 40 East instead of wrestling, and then it'll merge, and then you go 25. I was always a better wrestler than I was a football player. I got a scholarship to wrestle in college, so when I started wrestling in college, when I would come home on breaks, I would coach. And a lot of the people that I was coaching were fighters just trying to get better at wrestling. So I got really interested in MMA around my junior year of college, and from there I started watching more and more events. And um, right when I was graduating, I actually had an NFL tryout, and during that tryout, the training, I realized that I just really the guys that make it to the NFL really love football, and then they're really good at football. And I was okay at football and didn't really like it, so I wasn't willing to work as hard for football as I was for mixed martial art.
So you decided to change the sport. Can you talk about your first amateur fight? How did it go?
It went really well. My first amateur fight, they're 3-minute rounds, so I walked out there. The first round, I'm just hitting the guy, take him down twice, hit him. Round ends, and then a minute into the second round, they stopped the fight.
Do you have the hardest amateur opponent?
Hardest amateur opponent was probably my second amateur opponent. That's the only time I was ever really in danger. I got hit, and it kind of woke me up and made me really crank it into a second gear. So that was probably my hardest amateur opponent.
Can you talk a bit on your first professional fight? Was it against Chris Rose, right?
Yeah, and that one's a funny one. So my first pro fight was supposed to be against another highly rated amateur in Texas. It was supposed to be against Andrew Kimler, and he got injured and pulled out 3 weeks to go for the fight. And Chris Rose stepped up on 3 weeks' notice to take the fight against me, and it went quick. I went in there. He kind of tried to wrestle me a little bit, and I landed a knee. I landed a jab, took him down, and ended the fight in a minute. So it was a pretty quick fight.
Your second opponent didn't give you a hard time too, right?
No, my second opponent was actually pretty good. He had pro boxing and pro kickboxing experience, and I just remember he hit me 3 times faster than I'd ever been hit before. And I was kind of shocked, and I was just kind of like chasing him around the ring. And when I finally touched him with one, he went down, and that one was over in like a minute and a half.
Awesome. And Dwight Gibson, your third fight?
My third fight, I'm gonna get this right now. My third fight was kind of hard because it was funny. That guy was 8-7. He had 15 pro fights, and I only had 2, and he had pro boxing experience as well. So when we're going, he's landing a few exchanges. He was countering a lot of my punches, and then I just got tired of it, and I took him down, and I was kind of angry going into that fight, so I remember hitting him, just screaming, like, do something. Come on, fight back. Yeah, 25-7. Just do something. And he tapped the strikes after that.
Some people say that Legacy Fighting Alliance is a strong promotion, some say it's weak. What do you say?
I think it's a very strong promotion. It's definitely in the United States. You can't really fight for a better one, a better pro promotion, and it shows. Put a lot of guys into the UFC. Prime example, Dominic Reyes is an LFA alum. He's fighting for a UFC title. Valentina Shevchenko fought for LFA. Holly Holm fought for LFA. So a lot of prime top talent has come from the organization. You can't really call it weak.
It looks great. About your fight with Sean Tidd, I must ask you one thing. When he went down, the referee was saying up or down, and you were just staying away from him. I guess it was because of his good BJJ skills, right?
No, I just didn't like him more, so I knew he couldn't hang with me on the feet, so I told him to stand up, and I wanted to rock him a little bit more. And once he stood up, we went and he tried. I think he tried another takedown, and at that point it was, all right, you want to stay on the ground, we'll stay on the ground.
Yeah, you defeated him via ground and pound. I watched the whole fight, but I was kind of surprised because he went down and you just tell him to get up. I was kind of surprised for the first time when I was watching you, got to say. Yeah. UFC debut, Chris De La Rocca. You defeated him pretty much. How did it go?
I was actually just surprised they didn't stop that fight earlier. Each round ended with, me on top, raining down, going for the finish each round. He was a tough guy, very tough opponent, a lot tougher than I expected him to be. I didn't expect him to take as much damage as he did, but, that just kind of showed me everyone at this level is a little bit tougher. They're not going to just go down. They're not going to just quit like some guys on other levels do.
Your next opponent, Arden Buller, well, he was, I think, a Commonwealth Wrestling Games champ or something like that. He was a tough opponent. I mean, you fought 3 rounds, but how was your experience for that fight? I mean, how did you feel during the fight? Was it your first decision fight?
Yeah, that was my first decision fight. I thought I had won, but when I went to my corner, my coach said that we're in his home country, we're in his hometown, they're probably going to score for him. And that's what happened. I outlanded him 2-1. I doubled his amount of strikes, doubled his significant strikes. He only held me down 1 time from a takedown. So I thought I won that fight, but, I'm not going to complain about it too much. You just got to accept the results and move forward, and that's all I can do.
Yeah, I agree. Against Greg Hardy, you had one very big counter, but when you tried to shoot in, he stopped the takedown. So what actually happened? I mean, it was north-south punches. I mean, I wouldn't stop that fight if I was the referee. What would you say?
Right. I didn't feel in danger. That's why I stayed in that position. I've come from a wrestling background, so when you're in on a single leg, there's 3 different ways you can finish it, or 3 different ways that I like to finish it. I was waiting on him to shift his weight. He didn't really shift the weight. I wasn't feeling anything on the punches, so I didn't think I was in danger. And then next thing I know, they stopped the fight.
Yeah, but I was kind of very, very much nervous. I even started screaming when they stopped the fight, you know. And my brother said, "Oh, come on, man, are you out of your mind?" I said, "I wouldn't stop this. I mean, he's holding him and he stops the fight. I mean, I don't know exactly what the rules say, but I would never stop that fight. And I'm pretty much glad you changed your style now. And what would you think about Justin Tafa? Is he a tough opponent? I watched him. He is pretty much.
Yeah, he's a tough opponent. He's got knockout power in either hand. He's a very accomplished striker. His brother is also a very accomplished striker. And he comes from Australia. So they're got a lot of talent over there with Australia, New Zealand area. They've got Israel Adesanya, Robert Whitaker, Justin Tafa, Mark Hunt, Tai Tuivasa. There's a lot of talent coming over from over there. So it's rich in MMA history, and he's gonna come out game. All of his wins have been by a knockout, so I know what he's trying to do. He's not gonna just come in there and let me walk through him. So I have to go out there and take it from him.
I bet on that. I mean, you're fighting. Many people are saying that he's new Mark Hunt. Do you agree that?
Maybe you never know. I haven't been watching Mark Hunt film and comparing him. I've just been watching his fights, and he seems to have the knockout power. Obviously, when you get to the UFC with only 3 fights, uh, clearly they see something in you.
I believe you. So, would you like to add something else? Would you like to greet someone, or would you like to say thanks to someone, or? And hold on a sec. I've got to say that I like this hairstyle more. Your current hairstyle, I like it more. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. They put it up in a bun for me. I've never done that before,
Yeah.
but yeah, I definitely want to thank my sponsors. Sponsors that got me out here. Thank big shout out to them. Shout out to also my sponsors have been with me from my first fight, FlemingAttorneys.com. They've been huge for me. Their continued and consistent support has been everything. And then, of course, thank the fans. Without you guys, we don't get paid to do what we love to do. So we appreciate all of you.
Thank you so much for this interview. I hope you're going to defeat Alpha. I mean, you're fighting. Is this first or second time in the main card? Second.
It's my second time in the main card, first time on a pay-per-view.
So yeah, it's actually a first time because pay-per-view is a stronger event, right?
Right, right.
Right. All right. Wish you luck against Tafa and hope we'll talk some other time. Thank you so much for this interview. All right.
Thanks, man. You have a good one. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.